to our 13th instalment of the FRL GT3 Sundays, sponsored by Josh Thomas Recruitment. Check them out, they're pretty good. Yes, welcome everybody. We have another couple of races for your enjoyment this evening at the rather tricky Bathurst. Absolutely bonkers track, and well, I think there's going to be a lot of incidents going on tonight. I hope not, but there's been quite a bit of racing here over the last week, GT4s, and then obviously people have been doing a lot of practice on the GT3s, so it promises to be eventful, let's put it that way. So let me just copy this. Turn that down there. So we do have, I believe we do actually have a full grid for this evening, which is good news. We've got a couple of people standing in, but as I'm sure you are all aware, everybody that follows, yeah, we'll run through all of those shortly. But in time-honoured fashion, as we do every single week, we do grill one of our drivers, and we've got someone on this evening who is a very, very well-known face, or certainly driver within FRL, and he's one of our own, as they like to say. It's Hutch. Are you there, mate? Hello, Hutch. How you doing? Well, it will probably get you down quicker than going on the road, mate, to be fair. No comment. I haven't been watching practice, I promise. And obviously the other drivers aren't watching this, so they won't know where to take advantage. At the top of the hill, guys, top of the hill. Audi goes light and spins. No, she does it a lot. It's actually a really complicated track, actually. We're getting to you in a minute, but your thoughts on Bathurst? You know, is it good, bad, just hold on and pray, or... Yeah. That is not true, because anybody that follows the FRL channel, of which there are many thousands, no doubt, everybody knows, at least on a Sunday, and you've heard me say this a million times, you are the Cristiano Ronaldo of GT3 driving on a Sunday, mate. You know that. It's always smashed it at the last minute. No, I mean you're always around seventh. That's, you know, I always call you Mr. Seven. I would, if I was driving, I'd snap your hand off for seventh place on this track. Yeah, yeah. It's getting tough, isn't it? Yeah. No, mate, no. My plan is to retire from the driving and just do this, and just talk every night of the week. It's a lot easier, and it's probably more fun in some respects. Yeah. No, it's not. Anyway, so FRL, how did you get involved? Good. Well, I'm just going to check, because Georgie Priest, the great chap that you know, he's not racing tonight, but he's watching. So, hey, Georgie, and he has just said that he can't hear you. So I will reiterate what you've just said for the public. Hutch doesn't like FRL. Yeah, he hates everyone he drives with, and all those idiots he's normally in with a chat with, leave him alone. That's what he said. Hold on, mate. Let me just have a listen. Yeah, no, you can't hear you. I'm just talking to myself. I can hear you, but they can't. So basically, it will be something in the settings, but we can work on that at another time. So rather than, yeah, you will. Yeah, of course. Okay, I'm not going to hold you up if no one can hear you. But just to say, everybody, that Hutch is by far the best person I've interviewed yet. the knowledge that you guys can't hear, he is in depth. Okay, he's going to smash this race. No worries, mate. No worries. We'll try and do it next. Well, we won't do it next week because I've promised it to other people, but we will get it done. Good. All right, mate. See you later. Best of luck. And that was a shame, guys. Yeah, because you know Hutch isn't ever present, and very jovial guy, which is good. Well, he's got LFC after his name, and if that's Liverpool, I don't know what he's so happy about, but could be worse, could be Leicester, I suppose. But anyway. Yeah, so as we were doing that brief interview, so Hutch was saying that he does enjoy the track. He'd be very happy if he could keep his Mr. Number 7 position tonight. In fact, he'd be over the moon if he could do that. And, well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Anything is going to happen tonight with this track. It's such a busy track. I didn't realise there's actually 29 directional changes on this track. We'll run through that a bit later on. We'll do a little track guide. We'll jump on with somebody. Let's just drop onto a car because we're chatting away and we're just looking at the garage, aren't we? So let's have a look at Chica. Let's see what Chica's up to tonight in his beautiful Merc. I did say previously there's been quite a lot of racing on Bathurst over the last week or so. And especially sort of GT4s. Gamer Dad was saying that he really enjoyed driving the Merc round here in the GT4 because she had a fat backside. Wasn't exactly the words he used, but basically it's a narrow track, and you know if you've got a car with a bit of top end punch to keep people at bay on the straights, and you make that car pretty wide in the twisties, you should do all right. But we'll see how that pans out. So Georgie Priest is wishing everybody best of luck. Good to see you watching, mate. I know you can't be with us properly, but you're here in spirit, and that's all good. So, drive interview didn't go exactly to plan, but we will blame Hutch for that and his settings. Serves him right for having a PS5 instead of being poor and having a PS4 like all the rest of us. But whilst we're having a little watch of Chica, let's sort of remind ourselves what happened last week. Now, if you did join us last week, you would have been treated to some amazing racing around Spa. It was the quality of the racing was massive, and there's a couple of chaps that aren't in here this week that did impress me last week. You'll remember I was very, very impressed with 1-1 Ferrari. He had a couple of great results, and just stepping in as a reserve. We do have a couple of reserves in again this week, so we'll see what those guys are all about at this track. Hopefully not blocking the road for everybody else, although anybody can do that here. So. But yeah, just as a little reminder, so last week we had Lock and Load. He obviously came away with an excellent result in the first race. Not to be surprised by that. So he won the first race. Lely was second, and Michael Races actually put in a stonking performance last week in the Merc. He actually stuck it on pole, managed to finish third, and then in race 2. We had Chica, excellent drive to win last week. Lock and Load managed to come through from the back, as did Lely for second and third respectively. So those boys are all going to be trying their best to fight at the front as usual. And standings wise, let's have a quick look at that, just so we're all aware. Obviously Lock and Load's done and dusted. He's the champ in first place, 682. Crazies is in second. Crazies wasn't racing last week, but he is back this week, so I'm sure he's going to be keen to put on a performance. He's on 403. Lely is in third on 374, so Lely is still eyeing that second place. Lely's been doing pretty well in practice so far, and then Joseph is in fourth. He lost some ground to Lely last week. There was only a couple of points between them, which has allowed Gamer Dad to catch up in fifth with 303. Now we'll see what Gamer Dad does today. Where is he? Is he in yet? Dal Rashid. No, he's not in yet. We'll see if he does pop in tonight. So Gamer Dad normally just turns up a bit late because he works. He's a graft out, which is great. And he usually does pretty well in the first race, comes through from the back to mid-pack, if not a bit higher, and then qualifies well for the second race and is usually challenging for a podium. So we'll see what he can do tonight. Chica in 6th with that win of race 2 last week. Mr. Error in 7th on 256. Our man Hutch is currently 8th in the championship on 218. We need that to be 7 Hutch. Tarek Tornado is in 9th on 165. Michael Races is in 10th with 149, and then we've got Rashid in 11th, a few points behind at 137. Marpat 12th, Georgie Priest 13th. He's not going to gain any ground tonight. Arman Uvolton is in 14th on 83. King of the Hills 15th, 79. Traction Dave is then on 74. And then Big Time Dave, Shadow Lancer, Darren Mark and Dow bring up the rest of the grid. So that's where we are in terms of individual standings. Team standings, Run DJC Racing, they're out there at the moment on 819 points. Glorious Wings, the other Bentley chaps, are in 2nd place on 675. And then we've got Gulf Claren currently in 3rd on 474. But Team Bocco are just behind them on 466. So that's an interesting battle there for the 3rd place in the team championship. Triple X Motorsport are 5th. On 407, Lime Racing Team are 6th, Berlin's Most Wanted 7th, and Not Fast Just Interstellar 1 point behind them on 372. There's another close team battle we need to keep our eye out on. And then we've got Twazik Motorsport on 145, Audi Sport CR are bringing up the rear, so to speak. Hutch says, gutted, sorry about that, my setting can't be right, blah blah. Yep, it's all good, mate, it's all good. You don't need to worry about that. That interview would have been spot on. Okay, Hutch is a bit shy sometimes. Don't know why. Doesn't need to be. So that's having a quick look at the team standings, individual standings, and a bit of a driver view. We've got 1 minute 20 left of free practice. Gamer Dad is in. Hello, Gamer Dad. Good, he's made it. Let's actually have a look at who is in tonight, driver-wise, and in their teams. So just bear with me 1 second. There we go. So this is the lineup for this evening. Track is 38 degrees. 31, 38, that is warm. It's going to munch those tyres. So Berlin's Most Wanted, we've got Crazies and Dell. Good to see Dell back. He had a week off. Well, he wasn't here last week, but he's back in tonight. TT Motorsport, we've got Yvolton and Traction Dave is in there again in the Porsche. Michael and Chica are in Team Becco in the Mercs. Not Fast Just Interstellar, we've got Hutch and I Am Slow in the Audi. If anyone isn't aware, I Am Slow, I'm looking forward to seeing what he does tonight because he uses a controller. It's the talk of the town, so we'll see what he can do tonight. Gulf Claren, Nitty Night Knit, again, don't exactly know how to say that. Glorious Wings, we've got Lely and Mr. Error. And then Run DJC, we've got the man, JR Lock and Load, with Rashid. So Georgie's not in tonight, Marpat's not in. And our other American chap, Joseph, is not in either. So we've got SOP Nelio is jumping in as Shadow Lancer, by the look of that. So we've got King of the Hills in there as well. Gonna have a full grid. Excellent. Okay. Obviously, if you're watching currently, pop hello on the chat. I will run another competition tonight. I did one last week, which no one got involved with. So let's try something different. Whoever on the live chat this evening can tell me who won the FA Cup in 1987, obviously the best team in the world. The first person that answers that, again, I will give a setup for any track, any car, for free. Okay, so that's the question. If you missed the question, you'll have to keep watching. I'll give the question out again a bit later on. Okay, that's the deal. Chris Williams, why hello there. Hello, Chris Williams. New viewer, yeah. Sky Blues, you can't cheat, Chris. Chris is a friend of mine, actually. So, no, you don't get a setup, mate. You can't cheat. I have to think of another question now. I'll do that in a minute. So, we're going to move into qualifying very, very shortly. Practice so far, Lely's setting the pace with a 203. Crazies is 6 tenths off. So we will see how that pans out. So who have we got coming out first? Yeah, I thought Lock and Load would want to get out there. Crazies is out first. It's not a bad idea. Let's try and get out and get those laps set before people start trading paints with the walls, because obviously that can cause pretty big issues. We will do a lap guide shortly. And also some really interesting names on the corners around this track as well. I mean, you know, it's nothing like giving you confidence to go into turn one, which is called Hal Corner. He'll be fine. So he's making his way up the mountain now through Quarry into the cutting. And then we've got Griffin's Mount into Reed Park. It's interesting names. Frog Hollow. We've got Sulman Park. We're not really bothered about all them. What we're interested in is this bit, the S's. Yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 7 changes of direction through here. And yes, it is a challenge going up the hill. Because obviously we need to make sure we're getting our braking points correct and we're getting on the throttle at the right time. But that downhill section there, in terms of balancing the car with the throttle, pretty much keeping a trail brake on and then punching out at the end, we're going to see a lot of action down there. So down the Conrod straight into the chase. Which I have to say, I do like the chase. You come flying in there at full pelt, get your braking point correct between the 100 and 150 board, drop her into second, throw her in. We'll get on board shortly and we'll actually have a look. We'll do that now for his actual lap. So we'll drop it into second, we get that turn in. We're going to get on the power nice and early as we go down the mountain straight. So we've gone through Howe Corner onto the mountain straight. What we're thinking now, well, we're coming into Howe Corner now. Excuse me there. Okay. So we're going to keep the car towards the left. It's quite a tricky braking zone into this right-hander because obviously the road cambers. So we kind of want to be pointing as we're getting up to this little concrete patch on the left here. On the brakes now, drop into third. We need to hook it up in there, which we do. Get on the power, drag it out wide, and then just as there's a little break in the wall here, which is a turning point. So we'll get it straight and drop it down to second. Some people might go into first there. We've got to be careful you don't get too much oversteer on the way out. And then we're going to move wide. We're going to keep flat. Should be able to keep flat through here, as he does. A bit of a blind crest there. Then we're going to swing out wide, off the power a little bit, I would do. Yeah, and then back on again. And then just as we go past that Marshall's hut, I would be backing out slightly. You don't want to be touching that curb, and that's why. So into the downhill section, we're just going to keep dropping it down here through each section. And as we get to here, as soon as she straightens up, we're going to punch her out in a second. That was unlucky there, crazies. As we come round, we're just going to back off. Some people like wide on this corner and cut in, others like to keep that nice and tight and actually push out wide at the end. So that'll be down to driver preference. But again, if we've got different people taking different lines through there, that's again, it's going to create it's going to create action because there'll be people doing it in different ways. So let's come off that for a second. I'm sure he'll continue to do another lap. But that was unfortunate. I would have just backed out a tiny bit there. But hey, I can't tell him what to do. He's a 500 million time world champion in FRL. So I'm sure he'll be back for more. No, Chris, just to go back to the chat, no, it wasn't Everton, because what Everton did, yes, you did win the league that year. We won the FA Cup, Coventry City Football Club, amazing team. And we played you in the Charity Shield, which was my first ever trip to a football match in Wembley, and we lost 1-0, so it was a bit pants, but there you go. So, Lock and Loads popped in with a 2:03.3, that is a quick time. Lenny is 1.6 off the pace at the moment. That will come down for sure. Gamer Dabs popped in on 2:05 there. And then we've got Rashid and SOP Nelio. So SOP Nelio, he's a new driver, so welcome. This is his first outing with us, so I'll definitely keep an eye on him. Where's my man Hutch? Hutch is out. Do I stay on Hutch, or am I going to cause him to crash? No, he hasn't crashed yet. That's positive. That was a bit wide though. As he's navigating the downhill part of the mountain. You can hear him locking up there as he gets into that right left-hander. So Lockerlo's dropped it back in the pits. Gamer Dad's currently third. Let's have a look at Gamer Dad. So the Nissan, I think the Nissan's becoming a very liked car within FRL. We had this special race, special event a couple of weeks ago, which was Bentley versus Godzilla. So it was 10 Bentleys versus 10 Nissans. I drove the Nissan, and I actually was really impressed with her. And Gamer Dad's been doing very well with the Nissan in this championship. She's quite an easy car to drive, once you get her dialed in. So Gamer Dad is 2 tenths up on his previous lap. So he's coming through Murray's corner onto the start-finish straight, nice and early on the power there. So he's going to go for another one. We're going to stay on board. Into House corner. Running a bit wide there, and okay, commentator's curse. Well done, Cooper. Sorry, Gamer Dad. I think I'm going to be apologising to a lot of people tonight. Right, Lily's gone within 2.5 tenths of Lock and Load. And Crazy's, these are the fancy three, aren't they? Lock and Load and Lely, and Crazy's has had his resurgence since moving over to the Bentley. I think that will continue. But SOP Nelio in the Ferrari, that's impressive at the moment. He's only a second off the pace. It's quite a nice paint job as well. So Gamer Dad is currently in 5th, he's in the pits. Rashid is in 6th at the moment. She is in 7th. Big Time Dave is 8th, and your Volton is in 9th. No one else has set a time yet. I'm sure they'll be keen to get out there. We've got 7 minutes left of qualifying 1. Again, just a reminder to everybody, if you're not familiar with the format of FRL on a... Oh dear, an SOP. He bought the farm there big time. That was... that looked painful, to be fair. Uvolton. Let's see what he's up to. I mean, I'm making everybody crash, so we might as well make Uvolton crash as well. Yes, I was saying, in terms of the format, so we have 2 30-minute races that take place on the Sunday. The first one is preceded by a 15-minute qualifying session, which will obviously set the grid. And then the top 3 in race 1, they cannot set a time in qualifying 2. They can come out and check tyre pressures, etc. So that's obviously quite important for them, especially around this track. So the track temps actually dropped by 4 degrees, ambient temps dropped by 2. So we may have a situation where things continue to cool. So the chaps are going to have to take that into consideration when they're doing their setups. Crazy's is... Wow, okay, so Lenny has gone pole at the moment with a 203.1, and Crazy's is a 10th behind him. So those two have jumped Lock and Load, but Lock and Load is only 60 thousandths behind Crazy's in 3rd. And Michael races, very nice, as Uvolton cuts some grass. And I forgot I was going to bounce back across there. That was unlucky, Uvolton. So everyone so far have made crash. Michael Race is currently in 4th. He's only 3 and a bit, well, nearly 4 tenths off the pace. That's an excellent lap from you, Michael. Well done. And his buddy, Traction Dave, who's out in the Porsche at the moment, he's half a second behind Michael in 5th. Good showing from those two. So it looks like Lely's chasing Gamer Dad there. That could be quite fun to have a look at. Let's see what these lot are up to. Gamer Dad's getting out of the way. Very sporting of you, sir. And Lely's slightly up on his previous time. I often wouldn't. Oh no, he's showing second. So who's Lock and Low's popped into first? These two every week, every single week, it's just punch and counter punch between these two. And obviously, Crazies is joining the party as well today, which is great news for us. Lenny's going to drop it in the pits. That's fair enough. So he's probably going to make a slight adjustment. So Lock and Load, no one's broken to the 202s currently. He's done a 203.087, which means Lely is 69 thousandths behind him, and Crazies is 93 thousandths behind. So how tight do you want it? To be honest with you, I think if I was driving at the moment, it'd be great to be pole or second or third, but I would probably be a little bit worried because the track isn't conducive to driving nicely with other people. You know, we don't have a wide. It's not a wide track. There's not a load of runoff areas. It's just, well, it's death, isn't it? It's death at the side of the road. So, how clean is this race going to be tonight? It only takes one person. I don't mean they have a crash with someone else. One person gets out of shape up the hill or down the hill and blocks the road, and there's going to be a pretty expensive traffic jam behind them very quickly. In fact, I was watching something on YouTube the other day. I think it was a race. I don't know if it was Macau. It was GT World Series race last year, I think it was. Again, really, really tight. And I mean really tight street circuit. You know, we know Monaco's tight, but I mean this was like almost. There was literally 1.5 car widths. That was your track, and someone got out of shape and ended up parking it on the road, and literally the rest of the field, it was like the M6, just bump, 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 bump. It was, I've never seen anything like it. So I don't want to see that tonight, really. I want it to be nice and smooth, everyone have about 20 seconds between each other, and then nothing for the steward, which is me, to do afterwards. That'd be great. Keep that in mind, boys. So 2.5 minutes left to qualifying. Lock and Load is currently still sat in first place. Lely in second. Crazies in third. Michael fourth. Traction in fifth. They're all out on track at the moment. That's exciting. SOP Nelio doing a fantastic job in the Ferrari there. He's 1.2 seconds off the pace and in the pits. May pop out for another lap. Then we've got Gamer Dad 7th. Chica 8th. Tariq 9th. And Rashid is bringing up the rear of the top 10. He's in the pits. Hutch is in the pits as well, currently sat in 11th. And then we've got Shadowlancer in 12th. King of the Hills, 13th. Dal is out there. No, he's in the pits at the moment. He's in 14th. Quite a bit off the pace, 4.5 seconds. Big Time Dave's obviously not having a good time in that Ferrari at the moment. He's 5 seconds off the pace in 15th. And then Yvolton is currently in 16th, 6.6 seconds off the pace, but he's out. So, well, let's see if he can improve that. And then I Am Slow is in the pits. Mr. Error is in the pits. He's got a qualifying ban for this race after picking up seven penalty points during the last couple of races. So he's not allowed to qualify anyway. And then we've got Darren and Nitty Nightnit who are also out on track, but yet to set a time. We the Kevin, predictions for today. Volton cuts grass. Yeah, you've seen this script before, Kev. Yeah, hi, We the Kevin is watching. Our newest admin member, actually, at FRL. So We the Kevin is, FRL We the Kevin has currently taken on the Mixed Mondays role, and he's going to be looking after everyone who's getting involved there. So Mixed Mondays is GT3s and GT4s racing together. Awesome fun. Check it out. But good to have you watching, mate. Yes, I think Yvolton will cut grass multiple times, and I don't know if we'll have a new winner today. I don't know, mate. So 20 seconds left for people to either complete their lap and get on a new one, or then finish the quick lap they're on. So let's see what Lely is. Lely, yeah, Lely won't get another one in, so this is a big one for him. Is he up? No, he's down. It's going to have an immense final corner. He is bringing the time down. Oh, he's gone up. He is up. He is up. Okay, so... No, the timing screen didn't do what it should have done then. So Lely stays second. Crazies is... Okay, so Crazies is on a lap. We'll check him out in a minute. So Lely's gone into the pits. Michael's pitted as well. He's happy with his fourth. Lock and Load's out on track. He's actually just gone into the 202s. So he's waited till the end. He's popped it in there. We now have a fast track rather than a green track, which will no doubt be helping. Let's see, what's Crazies? Is he up? It won't let me change that now. No, and he's crashed. Okay. Traction Dave. He's also pulled over. There we go, ladies and gents. So we've got grid for race 1. Pole position, JR Lock and Load, excellent drive as usual, buddy, with a 202.916. In second place, we've got Lely 9, who is 2.4 tenths off on the first row. Then we've got Crazies and Michael Races on the second row. Traction Dave and SOP Nelio on the third row. That's an excellent opening stint from SOP Nelio. Well done to you. Gamer Dad and Chica on the fourth row. That could be interesting. They're both feisty characters. Tariq Tornado and Rashid on row 5. That will definitely be interesting because those two, again, fiery characters, good drivers, but they'll no doubt want to get some moves done. Then we've got Hutch in 11th and Shadow Lancer is lining up next to him. So we've got two Audis there on that row. King of the Hills and Dell just behind them. And then we've got Big Time Dave and Yvolton, 15th and 16th respectively. Nitty Nitty and I Am Slow. And then on the last row, we've got Mr. Error and Darren. Sorry, Darren. So there we go. That is the lineup for race 1. Now remember, guys, this is round 13. So, you know, there's been a lot of blood, sweat and tears put into this championship so far. There's one more round after this, which is at Imola. And I think everyone was actually really looking forward to this race just because of the unpredictability of it. Because you never know what's going to happen at Bathurst. And it's all to play for, isn't it? It's all to play for. So, any of the predictions coming in? I need to ask another question, don't I, for the competition? Okay, so, seeing as my friend Chris, who's watching, spoiled the last question, let's put a real random one out there. He supports a Premier League football team that play in blue. Whoever puts the answer on there, obviously not you, Chris, whoever puts the answer up there, gets it correct, will get a free setup for any car on any track for free. Okay? And they're not my setups, because mine are probably crap. You know, they're good setups that I've paid money for. So, there you go. The American Dream. Oh, there's another event come out. Also, guys, if you haven't had a look yet at the PC side of things, please do. The amount of events that they're pumping out over there. You know, we've got we joined up for 6 hours of Imola, where we've got 2 race teams in there. Don't know why, but I'm involved. That'll probably be a disaster. We've got the 8 hours of Zandvoort, which again, I'm involved with that, but I'm going to be talking for 8 hours. I'm sure I'll manage it somehow. Georgie Priest says, Gamer Dad top 5, Michael Races with the surprise, and his teammate with Hutch in 7th. Hey, you never know. You never know. Hutch in 7th. And We the Kevin says City. No, you're wrong. Keep going. Let's see. So, again, have a look at the PC stuff because there's a lot going on there. We did top. I know last week I said we were getting really close to topping 200 members within the PS world. We've done that, which is awesome. I had my own little party. No one joined me, obviously. But yes, we topped 200 members there. And we're actually also getting pretty close to that on the PC side. So it's just going boom at the moment, which is great. They're currently running a time trial for the PC in terms of if you want to get involved with the first, our first ever GT3 championship on there. Everything you can find on the sim grid Obviously partnered up with them over there. So go check it out, and also keep your eye on the website for all these new things that are coming up, new merch that's coming out. We've had a new partner recently who gets involved with making sim racing gloves. Check that out. So that's formularacinglink.co.uk. You could join up for the series, do whatever you like. It's cool. Rangers, well, Lurchies is in. Hey, Lurchies. No, Lurchies, not Rangers. I said the Premier League. The Premier League. Okay, not Rangers. That's some league up in a windy, cold place that your Volton knows about, and Dal and Chica. Sorry, boys. Right, 30 seconds. So what are they doing at the moment? They're just making sure they've got all their strats done. They're just having a quick look in the setup, checking those tyre pressures. They're probably having a look, seeing what the tyre wear was like out there, and they are just making sure everything's looked after. And some of them are probably saying a little prayer.
10 seconds.
There we go then. So full formation lap as always, unguided. Again, if you're not familiar, a lot of the ACC stuff, you'll have your guided formation laps on, where everyone has to go 2 by 2, and you keep within the green, you know, the sort of the green lines on there. We don't do that. We've done with that. So whoever's pole has an agreed speed limit, and they stick to that. Everyone is single file. Gives everybody time to prepare the tyres, probably the brakes a little bit more. Yeah, no driving through each other, which is really off-putting. So we've got some more. Okay, what's going on here today? So Lurchy said Rangers, no. Lurchy says Ipswich. Jeez, Lurchies. I said Premier League. Then he said Chelsea, good, not them. Then he said Leicester, good, not them. But Paul Trotman, hello Paul, says Everton. So I think we've got a winner there, because my mate Chris supports Everton. He doesn't sound like a Scouser at all. Couldn't be completely the opposite. So, Paul Trotman, congratulations to you. Okay, we need to link up. You need to tell me what setup you want, what car, what track, okay, and I'll make sure you've got quali, you got race, and you got wet. Okay, mate? So you let me know. Well done to you. Lurchies, I'm not going to give you one out of pity. I know you did have a few guesses there, mate, but it's not happening. Kagatako says, good race, guys, well done. Good luck. So, yes, indeed, good luck. Here we go. So they're making their way down the hill then. I tell you what, I love this corner here. This last one, where you just throw her in, and you've got it in second. As soon as she goes straight, you just plant it, and she grips up beautifully. Well, I do it in the Ferrari, and it's off like a shot. It's bloody awesome. Just gonna check that. So now they're forming up 2 by 2 down the Conrod Straight. It's time to concentrate, boys. A little bit of a wiggle. Make sure those tyres are warm. Make sure those brakes are warm. Please give each other space. This is going to be spectacularly good or a disaster. Either way, it will entertain us, won't it? Because, I mean, we're watching. We're having fun. Through the chase. Next time they'll be going pretty quickly through there. And then they're going to go down to Murray's Corner. And then it's game time. Okay, boys and girls. Yeah. JR's giving a little flash there. Hello, JR. Good luck, mate. Proves how much you know about football. Yes, Lurchies, about as much as I know about driving at Bathurst, mate. So we're okay. Okay, are we good to go? We're off. We are off. So it looks like everyone's come through the first corner unscathed. Well, that is good news. Let's have a look what's going on the back there. No, everyone seems good. Okay, so Lock and Load is leading the pack. And we've got Lely, Crazies, Michael and Traction Dave all very, very close together there. I'm praying for non-contacts. None so far. SOP is clear, and then we've got Chica, but it looks like there's a gap behind them. So what's gone on there? Definitely been an incident there. Gamer Dad looks like he's going slow. Your Volton's going slow. Is that Big Time Dave or Tarek? Big Time Dave's in there. And 29, we've got someone who's been turned around as well. We need the timing screen to change. Oh, that's Michael having a touch of the wall there. And Traction's two best mates fighting together on the way down the hill. Let's see what happens. So Lock and Load still currently has the lead ahead of Lely. Crazies in third place is 4 tenths off. Then we've got Michael and Dave just behind. Those two are battling hard. And SOP Nelio, again, impressed. He's right on the tail of those two, and he's keeping in the hunt. Then we've got Chica, who is in a safe space. Well done, Chica. He's not too far behind, but he's got a gap. Hutch is up to 8th, nearly in his preferred space, but he's got King of the Hills breathing all down his neck at the moment. And then behind that, oh, we've had another one. Darren's had a crash. We've got quite a few involved in that one by the look of it. Dally's safe. Rashid is involved in that incident and has currently had to wait for a lot of people to come past him. That is unfortunate. Mr. Error, having started from the back, has moved his way up to 13th currently, and he's got Gamer Dad and Big Time Dave behind him. And Big Time Dave's dropped in the pit. So, back at the sharp end, guys. Lock and Load has pulled nearly 2 seconds already on Lely. Lely's got his mirrors and his gearbox and his boot full of crazies at the moment. And then Michael and Traction are still trying to show us who's the best from Newcastle. I wonder if SOP Nelio's from Cambridge. Maybe he'll win. Anyway. Different subjects, and Chica is closing them down slightly. He is still in his safe spot. So in the pits we have got I Am Slow, Mr. Error, Tariq Tornado, Gamer Dad, Darren and Big Time Dave currently. So that was obviously a pretty big incident. Your Volton is looking to make a move on Nitty Night Knit. Oh, that's close as they go. Yeah, he had the inside line there, so Nitty Night Knit's going to try and come back at him as they start to run up the mountain. I think if your Volton can get that turned in nicely, a little bit wide there, but that's fine. He should start to pull from Nitty Night Knit, which it looks like he is doing at the moment. So he's pulled half a second on him already. We'll stay on board for this, because that Porsche looks a little damaged, and she might be a little bit unstable coming down the hill. Let's say that. Okay, in terms of other battles going on, this is currently the closest one really. Kagatacos, always love the first lap carnage on Bathurst. Yes, we do. Neil Woodward, evening. Hello, Neil. Evening to you, mate. Kagatacos, man, I love this track. Even a small error kills the race. Come on, King of the Hills, says Lurchies. Indeed. Let's have a look at him, Lurchies. King of the Hills in his beautiful Nissan. Pink and white, as opposed to Gamer Dad with the pink and black, so we could differentiate. SOP Nelio is only 2.5 tenths off Traction at the moment. Well, that's what it said. It doesn't look that way, does it? He's done him though, actually. Traction's dropped it straight in the pits, as has Lely. So Lely's gone for an early stop. Now maybe he was keeping an eye on the track and saw loads of people pitted, so thought to himself, right, let's jump in now, get it done, because there isn't the usual train of cars that he has to worry about, because there would have been a big gap there. So maybe he's decided just to get that out of the way. So Lock and Load is now scampering away, chased by Crazies, who's 3.6 seconds behind him already. That's a huge gap. And then Michael is another 3.4 seconds, and then SOP's 5 further back. So we have a very spaced out grid after just a couple of laps. But then again, I suppose that's no surprise. We are at Bathurst. So that carnage that happens has effectively, will probably split the race in 2 halves, really. Georgie Priest, let's go Hutch. Oh, I feel like a DJ now, I'm doing requests. Alright, let's go on to Hutch. I tell you what, guys, you lot are in for a treat next week. Yeah, I decided to purchase something yesterday, which is going to massively add to the viewing experience of all of you. And you'll be able to see my little mug in the side of the screen soon. Yeah. No, Neil, it's not a glitch seeing I am slow in 13th. He didn't set a lap in qualifying. So, sorry, Neil's asked on live chat, is it a glitch to see I am slow in 13th? Because I am slow, well, that's a very poor description of how he drives, really. He's normally right up at the top with a controller. So he didn't actually set a lap to qualify, but he has ducked in the pits early. So he may have made a small change there, or got caught up with that carnage at the beginning. So we'll see how he gets on. So, brief recap. Lock and load, 4.1 clear of Crazies as he makes his way up the hill. Michael's another 4 seconds behind, and then SOP Delio is another 4.7 seconds behind. Then we've got Chica in 5th. Hutch is in 6th. Hold on a minute, Hutch. Hutch should be in 7th. Well, we'll let him have 6th. So Hutch is in 6th. He will be absolutely thrilled with that at the moment, because I know from doing the interview he was bricking it a little bit. He wasn't looking forward to it that much. King of the Hills in 7th. That is a good run, buddy. Well done. And Dow, look at Dow up there in 8th. And Yvolton, look at those two. Scotland's finest behind Chica. Doing a good job there. Shadow Lancer is currently in 10th, and then Nitty Nightly is in the pit. So the top 10 have not pitted as yet. I Am Slow has pitted. He is currently in 12th. Traction Dave has pitted in 13th. Mr. Error, he's also pitted. 14th. Tarek's pitted. Rashid's pitted. Darren's pitted as well. Lely is just coming out on track now. It said Lely went into the pits, but it's still showing 1. Interesting. Big Time Dave is still going. Well done, mate. He's in 18th. And then Gamer Dad is... I can imagine what Gamer Dad's saying. I think Gamer Dad's probably... Yeah, I'm not going to repeat what he's probably saying. But he sat in the pits. Don't worry, mate. Make yourself something to eat. Race 2. Race 2, mate. Interested to know what's going on with Lely there, though, because we were just talking about him, that he dropped it into the pits to try and get that out the way early. Maybe he had severe damage, so it's taken him ages to do his pit stop, but then maybe he hasn't changed his tyres and stuff. Who knows? Something's not right there. But Lock and Load, he's not worried about that at all. Of course he's not. He is happily out in the lead. Over 5 seconds ahead of Crazies. Michael's still 3rd, no change there. So in terms of the closest battle we have, folks, and I know I said this at the start, and I was saying it tongue-in-cheek, but the closest battle we have is Hutch and Chica. And Hutch is 3 seconds behind. So, yeah, Lely did pit. I know he did, yeah. Who killed Paul? Formula Racing League's on. Hello, Formula Racing League. I'm not sure who killed Paul. I think quite a few of them conspired to kill each other, maybe. Or there was a squirrel on the track, or something like that. Well, it wouldn't be a squirrel in Australia, would it? It'd be a kangaroo or something. But yeah, so Gamer Dad pitted, and then he's just sat in there, isn't he? So he's not too happy about that. So Lock and Load. Well, as it's so spread out, let's go on board with our champion. And let's see how you should drive this track. Let's all take notes. That's it. Use all the road swinger in. On the brakes. Is he down to 2nd here? He is. Picks up the throttle nicely. Pushes her wide. He's 3/10 up on his previous lap. Down into 2nd again. Early on the throttle. You see he's running his traction at 7. And this is one of the things that I think is very interesting with the GT3 cars. You know, everyone seems to be totally fixated on, oh, traction control and ABS, and oh, you should have it on, you know, one or nothing or not, but obviously GT3 cars, that they are specifically on the cars to help. That's what they're there for. So if you don't use them, you're hindering yourself. So you might look at Lock and Load's times and the way that he drives and think, wow, I mean, look at him, he's so quick, he must be running that on traction 1 and smashing it. His traction says 7. Paul Trotman, are you still watching? Because you need to let me know that you're watching and what car you want, Paul, for your setup. So drop some on there, mate. So Lock and Load's coming up to the first back mark out. Got a little bit loose there. So Darren Marks in front. Darren's not going to hold him up. Darren's as safe as you like. Well done. He gets out of the way and lets him carry on. 5 laps completed so far. If we just watch the steering inputs, it's very smooth. Very smooth. Kind of Jensen Button-esque there, Lock and Load. There you go. It's a nice little compliment. Right, enough of you. You're too good. Let's look at someone else. Right, so Chica is coming into the pits. Okay, so Chica's dropping it in for his pit stop behind Darren. So Darren was obviously just at the back there, getting out of the way of Lock and Load, so he's brought it back in the pits. And Darren has already pitted. So maybe he's going to retire. We might have had a full grid to start, but we're not going to have a full grid to finish, that's for sure. Okay. Yeah, big time day for top 10. Let's see. Let's get big time Dave on the screen. As he's coming flying down the Conrod straight up towards the chase. Swings that in. Let's see what his braking point is. Nice. Power earlier all the way. Yep. Wasn't even on him. Do you know what? I'm going to come off you big time, Dave, because every time I go on board with someone, they crash. So let's not do that. So where are we? We are almost halfway through the race. It's going to have to be some pretty awesome strategy played by Crazies if he's going to make up that gap. He's 7.7 seconds behind Lock and Load. I can't see it happening. Obviously, unless there's an incident. So, again, if you've just joined us, welcome. Track's actually gone back up to 38. We are currently halfway through the first of our 2 races here at the FRL GT3 Sundays at Bathurst. It is the penultimate round, round 13. 1 left to go at Imola next week. And there was a huge incident at the start, so if you haven't seen that, replay and have a look from the beginning. Quite a few cars were involved, and that's led to, well, certainly Gamer Dad ended up retiring from that. So there's quite a few people out of position. Thank you very much. He's just letting us know. So Lock and Load, as expected, is out in front by a long way at the moment. He has not pitted. Crazies is in second place. He also has not pitted. SOP Nelio, who is a stand-in driver tonight, is up to 3rd. I think he qualified 6th. He's up to 3rd, currently in the pits. He's doing an excellent job. As you can see, your Volton there in front, coming out after his stop in the Porsche. Chica is fourth, doing a great job. He's already pitted, so we'll see how his strategy bears out on the ones in front of him. Shadowlancer's in fifth. He has not pitted yet. And then I Am Slow, which we know he's not slow. He's up to sixth, having pitted. So it looks like a good strat call from him. Where's Nelly? So he's just come out the pits. So Chica, I don't think he's closed up any on those pit stops. So SOP Nelio currently sits on the podium. Chica in fourth. So as I say, I Am Slow, who is, well, he's pretty close. Is he catching Chica? Let's just have a quick look at that. And then Hutch is still in sixth. So Hutch is doing a great job at the moment. Can anyone see my last message, says Gamer Dad? No, mate. No, can't see it, dude. Well, you know, earlier on I did say that Gamer Dad probably isn't particularly happy, and he has a very eloquent way of putting things. Yeah, I think he's probably saying a few choice words right now. Let us know on the chat. Tell me what happened. Let's see what's going on. Send me some tickets for after the race. So, I Am Slow is making a move on the other Audi there. So, Traction is running seventh. King of the Hills, he's having a great race at the moment in that Nissan. He's in eighth place. He has pitted, so we're race to the finish. Michael's lost out there. Michael's down in ninth, which is not where he would want to be. So unless he's had an incident at some point, because he was running top four. Mr. Error is currently 10th, having pitted. He's got to be happy with that. He started not plumb last, but on the last row of the grid because he had his qualifying ban. So he's made his way up into the top 10. He's got to be happy. Dow's doing a great job in 11th. And his Bentley as he goes, well, as he comes flying towards the downhill part. The Code Brown section of the track, as I like to call it. Tarek is in 12th. Don't think he'll be too happy with that. I know he probably got caught up with that stuff at the start. But obviously he had a great 2 races last week. Again, different cars prefer different tracks, and obviously different drivers like different tracks as well. So Tarek won't be too happy. Shadowlance out 13th. I know he was pretty chuffed last week to get in the top 10. So keep pushing, mate. You never know. Your Volton's currently in 14th. I have not seen any grass cutting in the race, so long may that continue. And who's that behind him? That's Crazy's behind him. Okay, I'm going to just stick on this, just to make sure that everyone's playing fair. And then Rashid is in 15th. He's not going to be too happy. Nitty 90 is in 16th. Big Time Dave is a couple of laps down. And then obviously we've got Lely in 17th, but hasn't pitted, although we know he has pitted. Big Time Dave, 18th, and then Darren and Gamer Dad are in the pits, probably having a chat. Traction's coming into the pits as well, as your Volton pulls over, as he should do. A little flash there to Crazies, saying thanks very much, go get him. Love me. So they're on their way. Lock and Load has pulled out 14.8 seconds on Crazies. Now, do you remember, what was it, 2 laps ago, maybe 2.5 laps ago, I was saying it was 7.8 seconds. So that shows you the pace he's got in that car. And you know what? I'm going to have a look at something here. Let's have a little look-see and see. So, Crazies has got his traction control on 5, ABS on 2. And we know that Lock and Load's got his traction control on 7 and ABS on 3. So maybe just utilising those electronic aids on the cars is just giving him that little bit extra. Right, let's have a look. What does Gamer Dad have to say? I won't read it out. I'm going to read it to myself and then I'll transcribe it. Yeah. Yeah. That is unfortunate, Gamer Dad. Yeah, I do see what you're saying there. I did predict that at the start, not for you, but I did say when I was having a chat in qualifying, you know, one person getting things out of shape and getting into an incident will cause a huge pile-up. And obviously you've seen that and, you know, stopped to avoid the carnage, and then other people behind are so sort of involved in their race, then they're not looking as far forward as they should maybe. Yes, correct, Neil. There is always race 2. So, Game with Dad, shake it off, buddy. Race 2, it's yours. Maybe. So, Lock and Load looks like we're going for another victory. Crazies, you know what? He's got to be happy with second place, though. You wouldn't be unhappy. You know, if there's nobody giving him any hassle at the moment, you know, he can look after those tyres. He can bring that home and pick up some good points. In race 1, it's all consolidating second place in the championship. Obviously, Lely isn't too far behind him, but Lely's not going to score any points in this race. He's back in the pits, and now it's showing green. So, you know, if he comes back out, I'm sure he will. And SOP Nelio, fantastic job. Fantastic job. First outing. That's twice now last week. I mean, last week we had one Ferrari turned up and put in a storming performance. We've got this chap SOP Nelio who's doing exactly the same. We believe in your gamer, Dad. You'll have a setup. She'll be fine, mate. She will be fine. Just hope people don't do what they did in the last race. That's the big one. So Chica, he's got to be happy. He's well, as he nearly loses it. Just as I go to him, Rashid's behind him with I Am Slow. I Am Slow's flashing. He wants Rashid out of the way. Obviously, Rashid is a back marker, and I Am Slow, he fancies a piece of Chica. So Rashid pulls over to the right. Is he letting him through? It looks like he's letting him through, and he does. Good driving, Rashid, to keep out of the way there. And then we've got Hutch. He's a long way back. But Hutch is in 6th place with Michael, King of the Hills. Mr. Error's got himself up to 9th now. So it's one hell of a jumbled up grid. And that's what happens when you're at a track which is so unpredictable in terms of form, and it's not even form, it's just driving standards, isn't it? It's anything. I'd be very confident if I was in this race. I would have seen the wall at some point. Very confident in that. It's kind of one of those tracks where you think, okay, I've got it nailed, and then just that nanosecond of loss of concentration, and you don't really get a second chance at this track. Yeah, that's some wise words there, Neil. Yeah, he's saying that he tends to find with Bathurst the best place is to be up front on lap 1 or right at the back. Yeah, you know what it is? It has that kind of Monza-esque feel about it. You know, everyone's ploughing down into T1 at Monza. You know, if you're up front, you're thinking, okay, I've got half a chance of surviving. I've just got to make sure people don't smash into the back of me. And if you're at the back, you think, well, that's fine. I'll just ease off and watch the carnage. But if you're mid-pack, there's just so much going on. And that was the thing I was saying at the start. There's actually 29 directional changes on this track. So, given all the elevations, you're busy. You're not just thinking, okay, where's my braking point? Where's my turning point? You're balancing that car all the time. It is a busy, busy track, which Lock and Load seems to have tamed. 5 minutes to go. He's 16.3 seconds ahead of Crazies. Close battles on track. Let's have a look. So, first, second. No. I Am Slow is 2.6 behind Chica. I'm going to keep an eye on that. But hold on a moment. We've got Tarek is a 10th behind Mr. Error. Not anymore. Who's that? Is that? And him and Dow seem to have had a coming together there. That looks unfortunate. So Tarek was just behind Mr. Error, and then he was off track as we came to him, as was Dal, and I think by the look of that, Dal maybe let him back through. So, is that Mr. Error going slowly? Who's that? So Rashid's had another off. That's not a handy place to do that. So Mr. Error hasn't slowed up to let anyone pass. So I think Tariq and Dal had her coming together there. Right, I Am Slow is... There we go, here's the battle. This is the one we're going to watch. So Chica's in 4th place. I Am Slow has just cut his time by 2 seconds. So maybe we've got a tyre issue. Let's go on board with him. Maybe we have a tyre issue for Chica there. Now, as we know, and there's a well-known saying, catching is one thing, overtaking is another, but I Am Slow has taken 2 seconds out of him in 1 lap. So let's stay on board. This is the closest battle we've got on track. We haven't had a close battle for quite a while, so let's enjoy this one. Into turn 1. Nice and early on the power. Sounds like a little bit of understeer. That's the thing. You're not going to get past somebody easily. I mean, look, it's pretty much one line. Chica gets out of shape. You don't want to be diving down there. I Am Slow. Oops, that was close. Okay, he's made that move and he's made it stick. So I Am Slow. That was a fantastic move. Chica couldn't do anything there. He ended up running a little bit wide and he was straight up there. So I Am Slow's up to 4th. Chica in 5th, and then we're pretty safe back to Michael in 6th place. And there we go, ladies and gents. We've got 1 minute 50 left of the race. How happy am I? How happy am I? Hutch, 7th place. That's what I'm talking about. Let's keep it on Helicam for the end so we can just take in that beautiful Australian scenery. The odd tree as we come towards the end. So do we have anything exciting? Gamer Dad, he's jacked in. Darren's in the pit still. Lely's in the pit still. Nitty Night Knit's in the pits, and Tariq is also in the pits, so they may just elect to sit that one out. Big Time Dave and Rashid are still running. No, they've had some incidents. Traction Dave, I don't think he's going to be too happy. He's currently 13th. He qualified high up the grid just behind Michael. If you remember lap 1, those two were absolutely going at it. He hasn't had the best outcome there. Volton, steady Eddie there, nicely moving around in 12th. Shadow Lancer, he's 1 place out of that top 10 again. Could he catch him? So it looks like Luck and Load's coming up to the back of Doubt. We'll just keep an eye on that. Rashid's pulled off there, so he's getting out of everybody's way. That's good work again, at his own detriment, i.e. lap time, but he's doing the right thing as a driver. Errors in 9th. King of the Hills, he's having a fantastic race in 8th. Hutch is still in 7th, so Lock and Load's going to come across for his final lap. Michael is in 6th. Chica's holding on to 5th. Well, he should easily hold on to 5th. Dow gets out of the way into Howe's corner. That's good. I don't think we're going to have any change from there, so let's keep an eye on Lock and Load, hey? Let's watch his final tour on this one. Paul Trotman. Trotty, Tro, of course you are. I have to say, mate, I enjoyed the 2 races that we've actually had together in the last couple of weeks, especially the Silverstone one. That was some good close driving. So, yeah. So, on Discord, where you've opened that chat, yeah, let me know what you want, and I'll get it over to you. There we go, over the top of the mountain, starting the downward section, the ski slope. It's beautiful to watch though. So the clock has obviously run out of time. So when Lock and Load crosses the line, that will be race finished. Last time down the Conrad Straight for race 1. As he throws it in there, so he's doing 173, topping out. Mr. Error's just in front of him. He's not going to get in the way. As we come up to the final corner. Lock and Load, well done indeed. What a great win. Is he going to give us a flash of the lights? Is he? No, he's not. Well, no bonus points for you then. So, Lock and Load crosses the line in first place. Crazies is coming into the final turn now. He's going to take second place. That's a good solid result though for Crazies. We don't have anything else particularly close going on though. Obviously that isn't for position. SOP Nelio, what a fantastic drive. What an awesome drive. First race out with us as a reserve. Bathurst, Ferrari, 3rd place. I'm going to give him a little clap there. Rashid's picked up a stop and go, which is unfortunate. It's not particularly going to affect his result too much. So Crazy's finished second. SOP Nelio, he rounds out the podium. So well done, chaps. 1, 2 and 3. Remember, you cannot qualify for race 2, but you are allowed to go out and check your tyre pressures. I am slow. What a fantastic job in 4th. Who was it in the comments that said, does it deceive me that he's in 13th? Well, I think that early pit stop worked pretty well, unless he was involved in those issues. Chica brings it home in 15th. A solid result for Chica there. Well done. He's our top Scot. There we go. It's a new category we're going to put in. Top Scot. Michael brings it home in 6th. I'm sure he will be happy with that. I was messaging him before the race, just, saying good luck, and he was like, I think I'm going to need it. So yes, he brings that home in 6th place. Hutch, you geezer, 7th place. Well done, buddy. Excellent work from Hutch. King of the Hills is coming to cross the line now. A very, very nice 8th place there. Doing much better than his teammate. It's a good job he can't punch me through the screen. But yeah, you much better result than Gamer Dad there, King of the Hills. Well done. Mr. Error, that is a solid result coming from the last row up to 9th. Then we've got Dal rounds out the top 10. Shadow Lancer, Yavolton, Traction Dave, and Rashid takes you to 14th. And we've got Big Time Dave, Nitty Night Knit, and Tarek, and then Lily, Darren, and Gamer Dad, who decided to go in the pits because obviously it didn't work properly for them. So we're now going to move very shortly into our second qualifying session. So we've got a shorter qualifying session for the second one. 15 minutes it was for qualifying 1. Now before it was only 7 minutes, I believe, but last week they did a 10-minute one. Rashid, you are the best. Rashid, one of your friends, Mohammed Sayasi, let me know if I said that right. He wishes you all the best, says you're great, which you know you are. You're a good guy. Although sometimes, Rashid, you do challenge Bolton for that title of grass cutter. But I'm only pulling your leg, mate. I'm only pulling your leg. You're a solid guy. Yeah, so normally we only have a 7 minute qualifying session for the second race. We'll see if that was changed or if it's going to stick with 10. We're going to go 10 minutes. Okay, fine. So, track temp 34. Attempt 29, we've got an optimum track, so Lely's out first. Yeah, Lely needs a good result in this one because obviously I don't think he's bothered about lock and load anymore. I mean, he's done, he's gone, he's won it anyway. I think he's going to be more concerned about keeping ahead or catching up to Crazy's. Crazy's had a second place in that last race, so he will have pulled a gap on him. So that's probably why he's jumped out straight away. And Gamer Dad has gone out straight away. See if he can harness that energy, that disappointment from race one. So what's going on with the guys in this one? Okay, what they're thinking? Well, we've only got 10 minutes, so if you're thinking we're sort of an over 2 minutes in terms of a quick lap, so we've got our out lap, say 2.5 minutes or 2:20, probably a bit longer than that actually if we're warming our tyres and brakes properly. What we're going to get in? 2, maybe 3 quick laps, or maybe people will just fuel for 1. And try and have an option to duck straight back in the pits, make a change, and come out for a second flyer. Who knows? But this is I'm a bit worried about this race, if I'm being honest with you, because normally I love the second race. I think the second race is always the better race because it's jumbled up a little bit. You know, we've got the fast guys from the first race at the back, can't qualify, they're going to battle through. Then we've got the other really fast guys who just missed out, they're all having their fights. Now, we're at Bathurst. That doesn't count. Yeah, I can't see the 3 podium sitters from the last race really working their way through. I think this is definitely going to be more about getting that early pit stop in and just utilising clean air. I think that's going to be much more important today than at any other track because people don't have to get out of the way. They're racing for position. And you're going to lose a lot of time up and down the hill. There is evidently going to be contact. Yeah, I'll bet my house on that. There will be some form of contact, exactly like there was in the last race. So you've got to try and keep out of that. I think that is the smart way to do it, is just to stay out of trouble. But we'll see. We'll see what they can come up with. So we're looking at Mr. at the moment. Let's have a look at Lely because he's obviously going to be getting onto a hot lap. He is on a hot lap. So let's have a look. Yeah, that's right. So JR's popped into the chat. I love it. Let's multitask, boys. Let's keep an eye on it. So he's pretty much of the same opinion. No one's going to be able to close the gap. Yeah, I totally agree, mate. Lily, I am slow, and Michael races is Georgie Priest's prediction. Yeah, I'm not 100%, 100 million miles away from that, mate. Yes, JR, you will do your best. Get in the pits early. I know that's what you should all be doing. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So we have time. So Lely, as expected, he's the first one to put a time on the board, a 2 minutes and 3.354. That's not a massively quick time, but it's certainly not slow either. So I am slow. I should have actually kept my eye a little bit on what Mr. Error's actual times were coming through from the back in that last race. Traction Dave, he goes second at the moment, just under half a second off Lely's pace. Then we've got Mr. Error. So you have to say I Am Slow was the chap showing the pace. Yeah, forget about the top 3. I Am Slow was the chap showing the pace towards the end of that race. Yeah, the move that he did on Chica, his setup seemed pretty sound. He's got to be a contender in this one. Who else? Michael, Traction, Lely, I Am Slow, Gamer Dad. Let's not forget, I mean, Hutch finished 7th, okay. He wasn't setting any fastest laps, but again, it was keeping out of trouble. It was that consistency of putting in those lap times. I'm sure he was on the edge. I'm sure everybody's on the edge driving at any track, especially this one. But he held that together very well. So let's see how he can get on. Let's have a look then. So we'll see if Lely improves in a moment. So Traction is currently 2nd. Rashid's put it into 3rd. Good effort, Rashid, there, buddy. Hutch has gone 4th. Error's 5th. Chica's 6th and dropped it straight in the pits. Just have a look at I Am Slow. I tell you what, in the chat earlier on today, I was waiting for an epic showdown. Because our resident champion in this league that we have at the moment, Lock and Load, does like to share some of his wisdom with us, which is great. Everyone likes to do that, and it's always appreciated. And I Am Slow was also trying to share his wisdom. And I'm sitting there reading this, and I'm like, okay, this could be quite interesting tonight. You know, I'm not saying there was anything between them, but you know what us racing drivers are like. You know, one says something's pink, the other one says it's blue, and obviously both are correct. And I was thinking, these two could be pretty quick round here. They haven't come together as yet, obviously. Lock and Load was just ridiculously fast in that race. But I was hoping to see these two have a battle. Probably not the right track for it though. We'll save it for Imola. It'll be a better track to do that. So Traction is still there. There you go, Tariq. Where have you been? So Tariq pops up into 3rd. That's more like him. Have you had a setup issue in that race, or if he was involved in that carnage at the start, which is probably more likely. But that's more representative of where he should find himself. Rashid 4th, Error 5th, Hutch is 6th in the pits, Chica 7th in the pits. We've got just over 2 minutes of qualifying left, plus obviously the completion of any lap you get across the line before that drops to 0. Shadow Lancer, he's better time and he's 8th, King of the Hills 9th, and who's that? I Am Slow's improved, he's put it up to 2nd. That is an improvement, and Lenny's in the 202s. So if I remember correctly, I think Lock and Load did a 202.9 in the first qualifying. Lenny's just done a 202.7. The track is a little cooler on track, so that will certainly help. Keeping those tyres a little bit, well, in the window. Traction is still 3rd, Tariq 4th. So the top 10 have all... Well, we have 10 people that will set a time, let's put it that way. So Darren Crazies hasn't even bothered going out. Big Time Dave's out. Lock and Loads, he's sat in the pits. Michael's out. Yvolton's out. Dell's out. And then SOP, Nelio, Gamer Dad. Gamer Dad, what's going on? Paul's in the pits. Okay, I thought he'd be out there. Maybe he's going to try and take the safe view, stay at the back, pit lap 1, and move his way through. That's what he's going to do. He's going to fight smart. See if Traction could improve. He's on his outlap. Better get a shift on. He might not. He might not get across the line. He should just, I reckon. So no real change anywhere else. Shadow Lancer's done a time and put it in 9th. Yvolton's completed a lap. That's good. He's currently in 10th place. Probably the scariest place to start on the track. So Traction Dave crosses the line. And he does. The flag's just dropped, but he started that lap. So let's stay on board. Let's see how Traction Dave gets on. See if he can do an improvement. I'm sure he'd love to start on that front row of the grid. But he's going to have to make up quite a bit of time. Yeah, Hutch is like, me 7th. I know, buddy. See? Just listen to me. I have to say a big thank you to all 7 people that are watching at the moment and getting involved on the live chat. It makes it so much more enjoyable for me when I can chat to other people at the same time. Snuck across just in time. Yeah, he did, yeah. Yeah, Chris Williams is saying about Traction just getting across the line. So he's half a tenth down at the moment as he comes over the top in towards the down section. How much is he going to push through here? He's currently up. He's going quicker than his last lap. He's a couple of tenths up at the moment. To keep that momentum going, Traction, you need about 5-6 tenths if you're going to get on the front row of the grid. A little bit sideways out the back there. It's going to lose him time. So as you can see, he's losing time all the way down the straight. Might not be much, might just be thousandths, but he's still losing time. He's going to have an epic last 2 corners once he gets through this chase section. He's got to carry the speed through. He has. He's picked up a couple of tenths through there. Push it, mate. What's he gonna do? Oh, he's half a second up, nearly. Oh, he's just lost a bit out of the final corner. So he stays 3rd. So there we go. So Lely, not troubled. Lenny's on pole with I Am Slow next to him. It's going to be a good battle, that one. Traction Dave and Michael. Howie, the two chaps from Newcastle, are on the 2nd row. I wonder if they're racing next to each other again like they did for the endurance race. Nah, probably not. So they're on the 2nd row together. That'll be a good race. Tariq and Error. Nice. Okay, 3rd row. Keep your eye on that one, guys. I'm going to go to that one actually. I'm going to go to Mr. Error. I'm going to stay on him for the start. Rashid and Hutch on the 4th row. Chica and Shadow Lancer round out the top 10, and then we've got Dan and Yvolton. Okay, Chica's still top Scott, guys. So the other 2 Scottish guys, 11th and 12th together. King of the Hills and Big Time Dave, they're 13th and 14th. Darren, Mark and Crazies, they didn't set a time. Obviously Crazies couldn't set a time, nor could Lock and Load or SOP Nelio. Gamer Dad is going to start on the last row of the grid. Okay. We love you, Coop. Ah, that's nice. Here. Yes. Me too. Oh, guys, you're so nice. Thank you. There we go. Makes me feel better. Right. So we've got 3 minutes until we get the next one. Look at that track temp, 38. I don't know who came up with that one. I'd love to know who in FRL decided they were going to stick the track temp like that, because that is just going to absolutely rinse those tyres. Like, it's not a difficult enough track as it is. Well, excuse me, folks, a little bit of water. So what are they going to do different? Are they going to... This is where the strategy comes in. What would you guys do on chat? Let me know, okay? Pit early or go long. That's all I want. Pit early or go long. Let me know what you would do, because if you're in the middle of the pack, like Chica ended up in a great position in that first race when the top 4 or 5 scampered away a little bit, and he probably had a 2.5 second gap in front of him to them. But obviously, because of the carnage behind, he then was able to concentrate on just having a consistent race without fighting with 28 people going into one corner in one line. So what would he do? What would any of them do? I wonder if Traction Dave and Michael Races have I wonder if they're having their own internal competition. Me and Timmy used to do that. We'd drive in the leagues, but we'd also obviously be, keeping an eye on which one of us was the better driver. So I'd be interested to know if they're having a little competition there. Pit early and then clean air. I agree. I agree. So 1 minute to go. Final changes. Check those pit strats. Gamer Dad, make sure you've got a full tank of fuel for when you pit. Well, not a full tank, obviously. Full race fuel on there. Lock and load, he's going to do the same. I know he is. See, Lely has to go long really now. Where is the contact going to happen? Where? Where in the field is it going to happen?
Seconds.
20 seconds before we get onto that final formation lap of the evening. So this is race 2 of round 13, the FRL GT3 Sunday Championship. The penultimate round before we head over to Imola next week. Obviously Lock and Load's, well, he's locked up this championship a long time ago. So the real battle in terms of standings and positions is, certainly at the sharp end of the field, is Lely. So he's starting this race in first. Crazies is down in 16th. Now, prior to the first race, they were very close in the championship. Crazies managed to pull a second place in the last race, and Lely, there was an issue with that pit stop. He may have had damage and gone in, then not changed the tyres, but he went in and did a pit stop, came out and said he still had to do his mandatory stop, so he had to go in for a second time, which evidently just completely ruined whatever progress he was making. Let's keep an eye on this. Mid-pack. Mid-pack. Oh dear. Neil Woodward, that sounds like a very good piece of advice and echoes what I think we've all been saying. So at the back, pit early to avoid the inevitable car park in the mountain, and at the front, go long. Yep. Couldn't agree more. So they are halfway round, making their way down the mountain. You know I wanted to sing that song about coming around the mountain then, don't you? But I'm not going to. It's not really a Sunday night song. Who's going to get the jump? Era and Rashid. Era, Tariq and Rashid. Hutch will be really careful. Hutch is always careful. I think Chica will be careful. Michael and Traction will be scrapping with each other. Era, Rashid and Tariq. That's where the action's going to happen. That's my prediction in the top half of this. Alright, there we go then. Are you ready, guys? I am. I'm ready. Okay, race 2 of this Sunday evening is a go. Great start by Traction Dave there. Oh, and Traction and Lily have touched, and Tariq's touched, and Mr. Era have touched. Gamer Dad hasn't hit anyone, that's great. And that also took Big Time Dave out, I believe. That was unfortunate. So let's go to I Am Slow. He is currently running first, and that looks like Traction Dave right behind him. It is indeed. So the rest of them at the moment look like they're playing ball nicely. Michael's third there, then you've got Rashid in fourth, so he's got through cleanly, and then Chika's in fifth. Obviously error got turned with Lely, saying errors in third, but he's not. Where is... Let's have a look at Gamer Dad. Gamer Dad's in the pack. So Lock and Load and Crazies are next to each other. Where's SOP? SOP Nelio is in front of Crazies, who is in front of Lock and Load. So the top three from the last race are all nose to tail currently in this one. Gamer Dad, he's in 12th at the moment. Come on camera, swing across. He's chasing Lely. Obviously Lely had that touch at turn 1. And he's in a Triple X Motorsport sandwich at the moment. King of the Hills and Gamer Dad. And your Volton's definitely won out of that one. He's got himself up to 9th place, which is good work from him. Shadowlancer will be happy being in 8th. And it looks at the moment that everybody's behaving themselves, so long may that continue. So have a look at the mini-map. Any yellow on there at the moment? No. So apart from that touch, in T1, everybody's got through that clean. Who's the winner out of that? I Am Slow. He's definitely the winner from that one. He's a second ahead of Traction Dave, and his best mate Michael Races, Howie, is half a second behind him. So they're going to have a duel. We've got 2.5 seconds back to Rashid, who's got Chica all over the back of him with Hutch. This looks like an interesting battle. Have a look at their lines through there. So Chica's probably going to have an advantage over that Bentley in terms of raw top end speed, but then if Hutch can keep on the coattails of those, which he is, he should be a lot more nimble in the twisty section. But obviously getting past those two big motors is a different thing altogether. Yeah, that's still closest on track, so we're going to stay with that one. Hutch is 2 tenths behind Chica, who's only 3 tenths behind Rashid. Dal is behind them in 7th, he's 1.7 behind. He's got Shadowlancer within half a second of him, so that's going to turn into a close battle. Lely, that said so Lely's made a move there. Let's keep on with these three at the moment. Hutch looks like he's definitely quicker up the top of the hill. Do not do that, Hutch. Oh, dude. Hutch just keeps hold of it there. He had to dab the brakes. You saw the little flash of red there. I thought he was going to lose it, and that's allowed Dal in his Bentley. He's really caught up on there. So from Hutch being in a position where I thought he was going to make a move, I think he got a bit excited to try and make a move, and that cost him time. But he's got back on it now. Rashid's just had a crash in the wall, which has caused Chica to back up slightly, but they didn't touch, which is good. Good awareness, Chica, but he's just allowed Hutch and Dal to get right on the back of them. Right, let's see what else is going on in the field just to keep you guys abreast of it. So Traction Dave's half a second behind I Am Slow in 2nd place. Michael is still there, but he's now 1.7 seconds down, so he must have had a slight off on the track. As Chica's going to make a move around the outside. He does make a move around the outside, and Hutch was thinking about diving up the middle there. Rashid runs slightly wide, which allows Hutch to come up on the outside. Rashid holds that line. Gal's just sitting there thinking, come on boys, get out my way. Parting of the Red Sea, Rashid dives into the pits, which allows Hutch and Dal to move through. So Chica 4th, Hutch 5th, Dal 6th. Rashid's pitted early. He's going to go for a long strategy. That could be smart, because he does have decent pace. King of the Hills is in 8th. He's fighting with Gamer Dad. Oh dear, Gamer Dad's obviously sent him a text saying, if you don't let me through, you're out of the team next year. So I won't say he's let him through. I'll say Gamer Dad made a great move on the outside there. Believe whichever thing you want. Shadowlancer's currently in the top 10. That's good. Lenny's pitted, so he's gone for an early stop, having had that early tap in turn 1. He's currently in 11th. And then we've got Mr. Error, who is also involved, or he wasn't involved, but he ended up off the track. I think he was the recipient of bad luck on that one. He's in 12th. Tarek was also there in that mix. He's 13th. Nitty Night Nit, Big Time Dave in 15th. And then we've got Darren Mark is 16th. Lock and Load has pitted. Crazies has pitted. SOP Nelio has pitted. Remember, they're the top 3 from the last race. They all obviously listened to my great advice at the start, and they've gone for an early pit stop to try and run in clear air. Your Volton is currently 20th, but has pitted. interesting state of play. So back at the front, I am slow. There we go. You can see he's got a half a second gap on Traction Dave. Let's have a quick look. Kagatako's 2 minute speed on the formation lap. Half the grid seemed not to position to start. I will check that afterwards, mate. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Maybe I am slow was going a little bit too fast. We'll check that out. Michael is currently in third still. He'll be happy with third place. He's not going to want to throw that away, and he is catching Traction. He is pulling him back in. Chica doing a fantastic job, sat there in fourth place with Hutch. Okay, he's a featured driver, currently in fifth. Dow's had an issue, I believe, there, because he was right on the back of him, but he's dropped off. And look, I'm Mr. Sunday, Mr. Late turn up, drive a bit driver, Gamer Dad. He's got himself up to seventh after pulling that worldy move on King of the Hills on the previous lap. So 7th and 8th for the Nissans. Remember last week they both had a very similar finishing position and pulled in some excellent points for the team. So they're being smart, okay, in the team championship. So Error is just ahead of Tariq. So in terms of qualifying, these two were together. Remember, they are now back together on track. We'll keep a little eye on that one. There's only half a second between them. That is the closest battle on track at the moment. Just keep an eye elsewhere for any changes. There's been an off. Who's number 21? 21 is SOP Nelio. He's just gone yellow. There he is. Yeah, so he's going a bit slower. Rashid's pitted. Lely's pitted. So Nitty Nightnit comes into the pits, as does Shadow Lancer. Back to Mr. Error and Tariq. That's closer than half a second. Let's not kill each other down the hill, boys. Okay, that's Tariq's got some speed there, you can see that. Okay, fingers crossed. Oh, who's that? That's that Michael. Michael Races 28. Oh, Michael. So Michael's obviously had an issue. And who's that? That's SOP Nelio. You saw the Ferrari parked down on the left hand side there. So we are having more issues. Just checking on. So Mr. Error drives off nicely. Tariq couldn't really do anything there because unfortunately Michael had stopped. Obviously he wasn't rolling across the track, but Michael had evidently had a pretty bad issue there. And well, it's one of those, I think, from a driving perspective. By the time Error moved out the way off that line, all Tariq's going to see is a Merc parked across the road. He couldn't really get out of his way, so that's unlucky. Traction Dave's in the pits as well. Now, I don't know if that is going to be an actual pit stop or if he was involved in any issues. Absolute non-stop action. Yeah, ouch, I agree. So I Am Slow is still currently in first place. He now has a 12-second lead over Chica, who, because of Traction's pit stop and Michael's accident, unless they both had an accident, he's benefited from that. And Hutch, our featured driver of the day, with no voice, and the drive interview, Hutch is up to third. So I know exactly what's going on now. He's going to be bricking it. Gamer Dad's got himself up to fourth, and Gamer Dad is probably on the FRL chat at the moment, party saying, "I'm coming for you, Hutch. I'm coming." Now, Hutch isn't Joseph Trow, and as I say that, Gamer Dad loses it. He loses it, and Dow takes the position. They have a little love tap. King of the Hills wanted to get involved there, but he backed out, and he's letting these two fight. Dow's hit the wall. Gamer Dad, oh my word. So Dow's scrapping for his life. These two are going to be chatting to each other on the chat. I've got no doubt about that. So Gamer Dad has dropped down to fifth. King of the Hills in sixth. Big Time Dave in seventh. Darren Mark in eighth, and Error in ninth. Dow's cut across the track, as has King of the Hills, but they both slowed up, so did not gain any advantage there. Good, means I don't have to deal with a ticket after the race. And off they continue on their merry way down the hill. So Hutch is now probably saying, "See ya." Commentator's curse. Always commentator's curse. Yeah, Big Time Dave up to seventh. What a great job that is. So the top eight have not pitted. Traction Dave, Michael Races and Tarek are still in the pits, so I'll see if they actually come back out, or they might have decided to throw the towel in after that. I Am Slow, our current leader, is in for his mandatory stop. See how long that takes him. So as you can see there, Chica's just gone through. Top Scott. And Hutch goes through as well. So SOP looks like he's coming out there. That's definitely his Ferrari. Is it? Yeah, so he's coming back out. Good. Let's finish the race, boys. Right, Gamer Dad. So Gamer Dad's closed that gap down by about 6-7 tenths. Hutch won't be too worried about that at the moment. He's just got to hit those markers. King of the Hills has jumped in the pits and he's missed his pit box. He's definitely missed his pit box there. That was not his best moment, but hey, it happens. Let's see. Lock and Load is up to 9th. So he's come from the back of the grid, did the early pit stop, as did Crazies and SOP. Crazies is in 10th. Crazies is 6.5 seconds behind Lock and Load. They're going to be hoping that they can keep chipping away at that time so they can keep moving up. You've got to remember, I Am Slow's been in the pits and he's back out the pits. King of the Hills is, as we know, in the pits. There is an 11th. So close battles. Let's have a look, guys. We don't have any close battles at the moment, but we will give Chica some great airtime because he is leading this race. Remember, he won race 2 last week. I'm cursing everybody tonight. I'm well aware of that. Every time I look at someone, they try and die on track. So the question is, will lightning strike twice for Chica? Aha, so Michael Races has sent me a message. Into the pits comes Chica. That was a quick pit entry, I'll tell you that. Michael's dropped in and just said that, how can I phrase it? Him and Dave had a coming together. We'll leave it at that. Okay, so they're not mates anymore, which is sad. So Chica's in the pits, so that means Gamer Dad, as you can see, comes across the line. He takes first place at the moment, followed by Dell. Hutch is in the pits. What's happened? Hutch must have had an off, because he was 5 seconds ahead of Gamer Dad, so he wouldn't have lost 5 seconds just entering the pits. Hutch, I know you want to finish 7th, mate, but you could have had a podium there. So Hutch is in. Big Time Dave is also coming in that beautiful looking Ferrari. So now everyone's going to sort themselves out. So Chico is now just exiting his pit box. Gamer Dad's on his way up the hill. Right, so where's I Am Slow in relation to Chica? That's what we want to know. Chica's exiting now. And okay, I Am Slow's, oh yeah, okay, so I Am Slow's already ahead. He's making his way up the hill. That needs to sort it, which it has now sorted itself out. So Hutch is still in the pits. He's just making his way out. So he's going to come out in 6th by the look of it. But let's have a look at the standings. So Gamer Dad, he's got to pit. Dow's got a pit. Not too worried about them at the moment. I Am Slow's come out in 3rd. And who's behind him? Lock and Load, 5.8 seconds. I was saying in the break between the 2 races that I wanted to see these two have a race. We might get treated to that. We'll have to keep watching and find out. Crazies, there we go. See, early pit stop boys running clean air. Crazies is 5th. He's probably going to be net 3rd, depending on how those the pit stops shake out. Chica 4th. Hutch 5th. However, he has Mr. Error under half a second behind him. And who've we got in front there? We've got an Audi in front. That's not Darren. Is that Nitty Nightnet? Yeah, so Nitty Nightnet, back marker, is in between Hutch and Error. Nitty, get out of the way. Get out of the way. You do not want to be getting involved in this fight. Hutch, ease up, man, ease up, ease up. Just keep Error behind you. So Nitty Night Knit does, as soon as he finds an area where he can duck out the way, does. Excellent driving. Let's let these two get on with their battle. This is currently the closest battle on track, so we'll stay there. Dow's pitted from second, so Gamer Dad, as we said, he's just going to run long. Yeah, he'll probably pit on the penultimate lap, I think. Lock and Load has cut the gap to I Am Slow by 6/10 on that, or certainly on the part of that last lap, so he's 5.2 behind. We need to keep an eye on that. And then Crazy's is 9.1 behind them, so just keep an eye on it. Can Hutch keep it together? This is for position. They have both pitted. We have got 14 minutes left of this race, which is a long time to do defensive driving, but if Hutch wants to keep that position, he's going to have to do that and just try and eke it out. See what he can do. So SOP Nelio is still going. That's good to see. Obviously he was involved in an issue. Oh, and Error's making a move. Error's making that move. He's going to cut through. Error's hit the wall. Did he just? I'm sure he just glanced the wall there. As we run up the hill, Hutch manages to get on the inside, but that then puts him back onto the outside. Who's going to blink? Hutch, keep that car under control, top of the hill. This was the area earlier on where the car was not being helpful to him. This is some good racing. 1/10 in it as they come over the top into the downhill section. It's all about ignoring the guy behind you at this stage and making sure you get those brakes and that balance right so you can get on the accelerator at the right time. That's some good driving by both of them. This is a nice battle going on here, guys. Hutch has done well on that section of the track. Yes, great racing. I totally agree. It is great racing. Most of the chaps on here do race very well, I have to say. The standard is consistently improving, which is why I do more talking than racing at the moment. So Hutch has pulled 8/10 on Error. Hutch, that was, get it on the track, that was a stonking section, mate. That was very nice. So Gamer Dad, he's still running long. He's on his way down the hill. I Am Slow. Okay, so he's 24.8 seconds behind. So pit stop, let's say 30 seconds. Change the tyres, no fuel. Run into the pits, out the pits. So what we're talking, 30, 35, 40, maybe 40, 45 seconds. So that's going to probably slot him in around Hutch, I think. Lock and Load is continuing to chip away at I Am Slow. He's got that gap down now to 4.5 seconds. And what we said, we've got 11 minutes left, 5-6 laps. Is that going to be enough? I don't think so. Chica's running in 5th, good solid run by him again. So we've got Hutch and Error 7/10 apart. Hutch went a little bit wide there. So Error seems to be quite strong on the initial part of the climb. Big Time Dave's having an excellent race in 8th. Where are you? There you are, mate. Let's have a quick look at you. Whilst I keep my eye on the Doubter on the other guys. Lock and Load must be listening because he's pulled another 4/10 out of him on there, so he's got it down to 4.1. Keep going. Lely has got it back to 9th, so he's chasing down Big Time Dave. 1.4 seconds in it between those two at the moment. I'm sure they're going to come together and have a friendly drive within the next lap or so. King of the Hills is rounding out the top 10. Again, good run for the Nissan. And then we've got Dal in 11th. Chris Yvolton is in 12th. Let's have a look at his. Beautiful Porsche as the back end gets a little bit twitchy on him there. And Rashid's running in 13th. He's definitely not going to be happy about that after where he qualified. But as usual, he is going to continue and finish that race. Darren is in 14th in the Audi with Nitty Night Knit in the other Audi, running in 15th, couple of laps down. Then SOP Nelio, unfortunately, is running down the 16th. As we know, he had that accident. And then we've got Tarek, Michael and Traction sat in the pits, probably listening to me, thinking what might have been. But hey. Okay, so everybody, Gamer Dad has pitted. Where is he at? So Gamer Dad's pitted and come out in 4th. Good work. Is he going to catch Crazies for a podium? I doubt it. I Am Slow's pulled a 10.5 on lock and load there, so he's got that gap back up to 4.3. Gives him a bit more breathing space. Hutch has got 1.4, almost 1.4 seconds over Mr. Error, so he is chipping away at that nicely. But again, good drive for Mr. Error though. He's got some good pace round here. Big Time Dave, oh, and Lely, there we go. I told you within a lap they'd be friends. And let's have a look at that. Big Time Dave in the Ferrari. She's going to be pretty jumpy round here from my experience. And Lely in the trusty Bentley. Now, there isn't really a match here on paper. Lely should have a fair bit more pace than Big Time Dave. No disrespect to Big Time Dave, he is a great driver of ours, but obviously Lely is normally either first or second. And there we go, the twitchiness of that Ferrari tells as he goes offline at the top of the hill, and that allows Lely just to drive on past, no dramas, no time lost. So that puts Lely up to 8th, drops Big Time Dave down to 9th. That was unlucky, but keep going, mate. You will have a good solid top 10 finish. Where King of the Hills is chasing them down. He wants to try and improve on that. And folks, we are pretty spread out at the moment. You're all looking where that red thing is, aren't you? Right there, look. Lock and Load's got it down to 3.4, so he's taken 9/10 out of him on that part of the lap, or that lap as a whole. So maybe I Am Slow has tyres going off. Alright, we've got a couple of comments on here whilst we keep an eye on that. Anything else within a second? No. Closest battle there is Big Time Dave and Lely. That's Lely pulling away from him. So I'm going to leave it on lock and load for 2 seconds. Let me just have a quick look at the chat and see what everyone's got to say. Yes, Georgie, we are going to get our battle. I do believe. So what we got? It's just under 7 minutes. So that's 4 laps, I would say, potentially. If he can get that down, wow, okay. I Am Slow's got an issue because that's another second Lock and Lowe's taken out of him. He's definitely listening. 2.3 seconds. Lock and Lowe's been looking after his tyres, chipping away. Now he's thinking, right, 4 laps to go. Let's see what this guy's all about. So he's punching it. I Am Slow will have taken notice of that. He can't not have taken notice of that. And you can see they are really close together. So, okay, Lock and Lowe's going to go for it again. I Am Slow, if you are listening, you need to hurry up. And Rashid, are you going to get out of the way, or are you going to hold him up for your teammate? No, Rashid, as ever, does the right thing, gets out of the way. So Neil says, not sure what the GT3 Audi is like, but the GT4 Audi was planted through the section down the mountain on Thursday. I think Hutch has him on the way down the mountain. Yes, totally agree. Totally agree. Hunting him down. So Gamer Dad, alright, so he's there. No, Gamer Dad's not anywhere near him. 1.9 seconds, under 2 seconds, 5.5 minutes to go. This is going to be the battle that I said I wanted to see before this race started. So thank you guys for making this happen potentially. And I'm sure everybody who is watching also wants to see this battle happen. 5 minutes left to go. Don't go running off now. You've been here for a couple of hours. We might as well see it through to the end. Mr. Error, solid job currently in 6th. Again, Chica's doing very well in 5th there. Nice and solid. Gamer Dad's probably still going to be a bit annoyed that he's only in 4th. But it's a good drive, mate. It's a good drive, good tactic from the start. And then Hutch, well, Hutch has got that position. Yeah, grandstand finish coming up indeed. So Hutch is holding on to P7. I'm telling you, when it gets to Christmas, I'm going to buy him a number 7 or something. Who's had an off then? 79, that's Chivolton. We've got some grass cutting going on. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Thanks for that. And he's behind Nitty Night, so maybe those two had a little love tap. Here we go, getting into the business end. 4 minutes, 15 seconds to go. They're about to start. 13th lap. 1.4 seconds is the gap between first and second. And everywhere else is pretty spaced out. SOP Nelio moves out of the way. Good driving, good awareness, good etiquette, well done. Game of Dad Chico, Mr. Error, Hutch is 6. Yeah, so Hutch must have lost time in that pit stop that we looked at. But anyway, he loves number 7, he'll be happy with that. So is Lely going to close Hutch down 10 seconds? Probably not. 1.2 is now the gap. Shall we go on board? Let's go on board. Let's watch the hunt unfold, shall we? There we go. Right then, guys, let's watch. Yeah, let's watch any mistakes. Let's watch how that Audi's behaving. Let's keep an eye on the inputs down in the bottom right hand corner. We can obviously see the throttle inputs and the braking inputs of lock and load. So it's under a second. Under a second. It's coming, folks. I am slow with a controller versus lock and load not with a controller. These two were talking to each other quite nicely earlier on in the chat. It was nicely. It was a nice bit of banter, but it was definite undertone of yeah, whatever, as you generally get when people are competitive. And they're going to get to eyeball each other. In we go, so 2 minutes, so another 2 laps then. 2 laps to go. I know I said it earlier on, catching is one thing, passing is another. But that Bentley, she looks planted. But I am slow, just got to keep her wide. Do a bit of parking on the apex, especially before the long straight, so we can get better traction out of there. What do you reckon, folks? What do you reckon? So Lock and Load's been following him for quite a few laps, okay, at different distances, but he will be aware, you know, being the studious driver that he is, he will be aware of where, that's not going to help him, where he's weaker. He's trying all the tricks, we've got a bit of flashing going on. You've got to love this. I tell you what, this is it. This is all you need. You don't even need me to say a word. Yeah, it will be clean. I'm sure it'll be clean racing. I'm sure it'll be clean racing. I mean, Lock and Load will go for a pass if he sees one, and I'm sure I Am Slow will defend that. Because we're what? We're a lap. Well, we're basically a lap away, aren't we? Okay, he's got a decent run out of there. He's showing his nose, trying to put him off. Is he going to go deep? Nope. That Audi's got to get a good run onto this straight. Last lap, guys. We're down to 0.3. Yes, probably 0.2, really. So, Lock and Load, where are you going to play? Where are you going to do this move? Are you going to try and carry a bit of extra speed through. I think he's just going to try and put him off. Here we go. Up the mountain we go. I apologise to all the other drivers that I'm not watching at the moment, but you don't get a battle this close at the front at Bathurst in the last couple of laps all the time. Oh, that's giving him a breather. That's definitely giving him a breather. Lock and load move into the last chicane. Yeah, I think that might be a good shout. Or lock and load's going to try and put one on the inside on the left-hander down the bottom of the hill. That is an overtaking place, I think, if you're brave enough. No, he wants to get a good run. Okay, down the Conrad Straight for the last time. If there's a move going to happen, it's going to be very soon. Yeah, he's going to go inside. He's gone defensive. He's just got to park it. He's just got to park it. Lock and Load's going to try one hell of a move if he's going to get through there. No, that wasn't on. Good driving from the pair of them, and what a finish. Well done. I Am Slow comes across the line to take the win. That wasn't 3 tenths. There was no way 3 tenths. That was an epic finish, guys. That was an absolutely epic finish. So well done, I Am Slow, and well done, Lock and Load. That was amazing. So Crazies is just coming over the line. He takes 3rd place, so another podium finish for him, which will extend his lead over Lely. Gamer Dad is currently in 4th. Chica 5th. Let's just see. Anyone else really close? No, so they should finish as they are. What's the chat saying? Oh, they're going bonkers. Georgie Priest, well done, I Am Slow. Neil, great racing, great battle at the end. Chris, on the last lap, great racing. It was great racing. It's always great racing within FRL. Gamer Dad's given us a little flash. Thank you very much, sir. Comes home in 4th place. That was an excellent finish by you. Chica's currently coming across the line. Yeah, he's happy. He's flashing away. He comes over 5th. Era's got to be happy with 6th, I think. Yeah, that's not a bad. It's not a bad couple of races in terms of points for him. A 6th and a 9th, considering in the first race he was starting at the back. Come on, Hutch. Hutch comes home just in front of Lely to take 7th. Yes! Hutch, you're a legend. And Lely, unlucky, mate. Good driving. That was very unlucky at the start. If he pulled that gap down for like 10 seconds to Hutch, that was quite an effort. Big time Dave. Good race. Good racing. He's going to bring it home in 9th. With King of the Hills in the sister Nissan, going to round out the top 10. You can see your Volton behind there. He's going to finish 12th. Dow's currently in 11th, but stopped, so maybe he's run out of fuel. Go on, Dow. Someone give him a push. Come on, guys, get off the hill. No, they can't be asked. SOP Nelio, he has finished in 13th. Darren Mark, 14th. Michael and Tarek, 15th, 16th. Traction, Rashid and Nitty Night Knit. They obviously all didn't finish the race. So, there we go. End of race 2. I Am Slow with his maiden victory in GT3 Sundays. Epic battle with Lock and Load. Crazy's on the podium. Gamer Dad, well done. Solid from Chica. Guys, what another awesome night of racing. Let's have a quick look at the chat. Yeah, everyone's happy with that. What can I say? Thank you for watching. Next week, we have the final round of the FRL GT3 Sundays Championship at Imola, which is going to be blinding, no doubt. So, thanks to everyone getting involved on the live chat. Paul, obviously you won the competition, so let me know what car, what track. I'll sort that setup out for you, mate. And well done to all the drivers. So, from me, Mr. Sunday, Coop's Corner. I shall see you all next week for the final round. Alright guys, have a great evening. See you later. Bye bye.